What's up, guys? Kieran here, back for another CrossFit rowing review and discussion. Today we're going to have a little bit of a look at the Start Fast, Finish Strong Elite Males event from Wodapalooza, which is a competition in Miami and this weekend just gone. I thought, great, we can have another look at some CrossFitters doing rowing. It'll be great content for the channel. It was interesting as I was going through the video that actually I think what we're going to discuss today changed quite a bit. As I started looking at how people like Vellner, Khrennikov, Malheiros, etc. were rowing, started to think to myself, wow, these guys look really uncomfortable on the rower compared to what I've seen from them before. Especially in the last video, we had a good look at Khrennikov and commented on how efficient his technique was. The main difference for these guys competing this weekend is that at Wodapalooza, they use the assault rower, so not the Concept 2, which is normally used as a standard at the CrossFit Games, the CrossFit Open, etc. So I was wondering kind of why all these guys are rowing with really bent arms as they're sliding into the front. As I had a look through the video, I then started looking back at Wodapalooza from last year, seeing those same common themes, like particularly people like Jayson, the guy that just went 6:03 for 2K. As far as we know, that's the fastest kind of Games athlete that's gone that speed over 2K. Again, all these guys looking super uncomfortable on that rower. The thing that stands out to me the most is that the rail, so the thing that the seat slides up and down on, appears to be much wider than that on the Concept 2. As a result, the feet are set further apart. And then obviously, as the guys are sliding up and down, sliding to the catch and starting to drive, their knees have to follow their toes. The same as if you're doing a squat, those knees are always going to follow the line your toes are tracking. So because the feet are set wider apart, the knees are wider apart, and then it looks to me like, especially the guys with the bigger quads and longer arms and legs, don't have room to get their arms straight into the catch. For me, that seems like a huge, huge oversight in the making of this machine. I don't think there's many people that would argue against the fact that you need to be sliding into the catch on the rower with long and relaxed arms, and you shouldn't feel uncomfortable. It really looks like these guys are having to compensate by opening their elbows out into more of this diamond shape to be able to get to the catch as well. If you're building a machine with wider feet, then you'd have to really accommodate that by building a wider handle as well. So it looks to me that maybe the handle is the same or thinner than on a Concept 2, but those feet are much wider apart. The other thing that stands out is one of the biggest things that makes a difference into your front end position in rowing is the difference between your seat height and your heel height, okay? So the further down your heels are, the higher up your seat is, the easier it is for you to stay rocked over and keep your hip angle closed as you slide into the front. And we know from the video last week that we discussed, if your hip angle is closed and we're hinged forward at the front, we can then drive that angle open to generate power into the last bit of the stroke. So it's a really interesting one to look at that. From what I can see and how these guys are moving compared to what I've seen before, it really seems like this rower is actually compromising their ability to row efficiently. From the times they're putting out, it seems like the output is different as well, as in it was taking them much longer to row the 1K than it was on a Concept 2. But yeah, what really stands out is just how uncomfortable they looked. And it really had me questioning why the assault rower is being used in this competition if it's going to compromise that ability to row well and generate force. So I'd be really interested to know if any of you guys watching have spent much time on both the Concept 2 and the assault rower. If what I've discussed here kind of lines up with what you felt the difference between those two machines were. If you have that experience, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. But yeah, I'm going to try and get hold of an assault rower somewhere from a local box and try and do a comparison between the two. But watching the video and watching all these different athletes that normally can row quite efficiently and seeing them, how they were moving on the assault rower, it was actually quite concerning that they're putting these athletes in that position where they're going to be, they're not going to have the ability to row as efficiently as they normally do. I know in CrossFit, you kind of got to be ready for anything, but to me, this seems like probably a step too far in the wrong direction. So thanks again for watching. If you've got any comments or questions on anything that was discussed, please just drop it in the comments and I'll see you next time.